Okay? So, diretso po tayo sa lecture 8. So, tuloy-tuloy siya. So, ito naman yung spatial data to geographic information. So, kanina, we learned that we can integrate Earth observation with GIS, especially through software like QGIS. Di ba kanina, nag-input tayo ng satellite data and mga vector files. Okay? And it will give us some geospatial products and application. The next question is, how? How do we integrate Earth observation and GIS? Kanina may sample na modeling, no? Pero aside from that, what are the other methodologies to integrate GIS and Earth observation? So in this presentation, let's discuss about the common QGIS operations, spatial analysis and modeling, and doing some queries with some short mini exercises. Okay? So this slide shows the common QGIS operations, specifically this one for the vector tools. So pag nag-explore pa kayo further sa QGIS, malalaman nyo na available po yung mga tools na to, no? Okay? For example, vector analysis, vector creation, clipping, yan, intersection, lahat yan, kaya naman yan with QGIS. Okay? So QGIS offers a wide range of tools that allow users to analyze data and also visualize. Okay? Essential siya for integrating Earth observation data with vector layers. So, eto, bibigay naman yung slides, copy ng PowerPoint. So, ito lang naman yung summary of some categories and operations. Again, for QGIS, we can do spatial analysis like SonalStat, raster calculator, familiar na, no? Nagamit na natin sa raster calculator. Clipping raster, mass, nagamit na rin natin by extent yung kanina. Spatial modeling, dito papasok yung special operations on model builder, vector classification, overlay analysis, and lastly, spatial queries. Ito yung gagawin natin later, select by location, expression, or some attribute table filtering. Okay? So yung first term na narinig natin is spatial analysis. It refers to the transformation, manipulations, and methods for adding value to geographic data. In summary, this is the process of making the geographic data more useful. So sa properties of spatial features, ito yung tinitingnan natin na pwedeng maging focus of interest natin or focus of analysis natin kapag nagkakontact tayo ng spatial analysis. So pwedeng we can observe yung differences sa size, distribution, pattern, shape, orientation, etc. Okay? So we can do spatial analysis by focusing on that particular properties or observation. So in this analysis, okay, ang sinasagot natin ay what types of relationships exist between geographic features. Okay? And paano sila nagiging na-express through digital visualization or numbers. Okay? For example, meron tayong mga bahay dito, okay? Paano ba yung distribution ng bahay? Makakalapit ba sila or makakalayo? Ano ba yung size ng mga bubong? So we can do that analysis. Part na siya ng spatial analysis. Okay? Also pattern, we can see pattern, for example, and also neighborhood. For example, dito, we can see na mostly sa mga bahay malapit sa roads, right? So that's another observation na pwedeng i-conduct natin with spatial analysis. Also, concerning relative sa elevation, makita natin na may mga bahay doon sa, of course, sa flat terrain compared doon sa higher terrain or mataas yung slope natin. So lahat yun, valid observation when it comes to spatial analysis. So ano yung role ng GIS spatial analysis? Of course, a lot of data sets or workflow can be conducted with GIS and GIS software. Okay? Including yung spatial analysis and other analysis na pwedeng gawin with geographic information data. So we are using QGIS pero marami pa pong pwedeng gawin or gamitin. So if meron kayong funding, you can use the ArcGIS Pro, online, etc. Of course, you can use some R, Python. You can also use that to process vector data or GIS data as a whole. Okay, so another role of GIS and spatial analysis is to find patterns in geographic data. Okay, ito naman yung parang isa sa mga methodology to do spatial analysis, finding patterns in geographic data and understanding the causes of those patterns. For example, meron kang picture dito, no? Illustrations kung saan nandito yung distribution ng mga commercial buildings. Okay? So pag ito lang tiningnan mo, you can see na may mga clustering, no? There are clustering. Pero hindi mo pa alam yung reason. Okay? Kasi ang naka-load mo lang ay mga point-shaped files or polygons ng mga commercial buildings mo. However, pag nag-overlay ka, for example, ng other dataset, for example, road network, makikita mo na nagme-make sense. Karamihan ng commercial buildings near the roads, along the roads, for different purposes, siyempre, like foot traffic, etc., etc. So, nagme-make sense once we use other datasets. So, first, we find patterns. Next, we understand the causes behind these patterns. So, yung first level of spatial analysis, ito yung basic description. Describe lang natin or nire-represent yung real world using either vector or raster as presented sa D1, no? Okay? Yung focus ditong first level on is describing lamang and representing the real world either as vector or as raster. So that's the first level of spatial analysis. Kasama na dito, as mentioned, since raster siya, for example, sa satellite data, kada pixel mo will have unique value, right? So tulad ng pinakita po kanina sa NDVI, so ano na rin siya, raster value with unique value kada pixel. So that when using a legend or palette, we can represent it with a legend like this. So pwedeng increasing yung value, increasing yung color natin, just to identify or to show na kada pixel will show us different colors. Again, as mentioned, part na rin siya ng exploratory spatial data analysis, yung finding patterns. And third one, okay, ito naman yung last, spatial statistical analysis and hypothesis testing. Okay? So for example, as the third level of spatial analysis, we can conduct an statistical analysis kung significant ba yung distribution na nakita natin or baka by chance lang siya or happened by random chance. For example, in this example, yung mga red ay occurrence ng crime. Okay? So marami dito, no? May mga clustering din. Okay? Tapos, nakita ng study na karamihan ng crimes nangyari nearby the boundary of the village. Okay? So, in experiment yun, ng study, either statistically significant ba siya or by random chance lang. So, yun yung pwedeng gawin with the third level of analysis. Yung fourth one, ginawa na siyang main topic na rin, which is spatial modeling or prediction. Kasi isa siya sa mga major na analysis for integration of GIS and Earth observation. Okay? So, spatial modeling, alam naman natin yung term, no, na modeling. Okay? Construction of models to predict spatial outcomes or patterns, either based on the current or historical data. Okay? It combines geographic data with mathematical or statistical techniques. And common application nito, spatial modeling, for example, to include potential land use change after some years, flood risk mapping, etc., etc. So, gusto kong ipakita tong example ng spatial modeling conducted by PILSA from one of their thematic focus. So, this one, ang ginamit ditong data ay VIIRS. So, Visible Infrared Imaging Radiometer Suite, satellite data. Okay? So, ito, pinapakita niya yung Philippines at night. Okay? So, kahit gabi, may na-collect siya kasi meron siyang special sensor to collect thermal and also light. Okay? So, makita natin yan, yung mga areas dito na medyo maliwanag. So, dito, ayan ay nasa coast, no? Nasa sea area, ocean areas. Okay? So, yung nakita nating clusters of bright lights are actually indicative of mga core fishing areas. Okay? Kasi di ba yung mga bangka, mga boat, mga fishing vessels, may ilaw siya sa gabi. Okay? So, doon, nakakaroon tayo ng clusters of light doon kung saan active yung fishing natin, ng mga fishermen natin na Pinoy. Kasi nasa Pilipinas naman to, no? Yan. Pero pwede naman siyang gamitin outside for course. Pero ibang discussion na yun. Let's focus on the fishing. Fishing only in the Philippines. So the dense clusters of bright lights indicate core fishing areas. So the next step dito, since they already know that these potential areas are suitable for fishing, they want to know na aside from these areas, what other areas in the Philippine seas or ocean are still or are also suitable for that particular purpose. Yung pwede rin pangisdaan. Okay? So paano gagawin yon? Ang ginawa nila, okay, nag-collect sila ng mga environment parameters doon sa existing na core fishing areas para matas ano yung level of chlorophyll doon sa mga core fishing areas. If that particular level is also present in the other areas in the Philippines, baka potential din siya, no? So yun ang gusto nilang i-model. Again, kinukuha nila yung mga variables, okay, inside this existing core fishing areas. They collected information like chlorophyll A, sea surface temperature, bathymetry data. They inputted the model to, of course, their algorithms, okay? So this algorithm will learn, okay, the patterns of this particular combination of parameters and will identify other potential areas that are also suitable for fishing, okay? So find other areas with similar environmental signatures. This is, again, example of suitability mapping. And this is one of the result, okay? Anong area ba ta? Anong area ba to? So around Quezon and Marinduque. So those areas with red pixels here are the potential fishing areas. Okay? Ibig sabihin, the environmental parameters like SST, chlorophyll are the same with those na nasa core fishing areas. Of course, they must consider, of course, yung ground-based validation just to confirm those. So those are just potential, no? Potential pa siya. Hindi pa siya confirmed na fishing areas. Okay? Again, ito yung pinakita ko kanina. So we also use combination of EO and rasters, for example, in Pagbilao, to determine the viability for mariculture. The next level of analysis or the next method of analysis is through spatial queries. Okay? So spatial query is a type of query used in GIS to find or analyze data based on location. Okay? So nagki-query lang tayo based on particular data, information, especially location. Okay? We can do queries with coordinates, either polygons, distance, or spatial relationship between your particular columns or dataset. So, ito yung isang example, selecting features within a polygon. Okay? So, what if meron kang line input or line dataset, line vector file for the whole Philippines? Okay? Pero ang gusto mo lang itong province A, kunwari. Okay? Gusto mo lang kunin yung specific na line input or line network dito sa province A. Okay? So you have two datasets, no? You have the line network, you have the municipal or provincial boundary. So, simple clipping lang siya sa QGIS. Ang output mo ay line network inside that boundary. Okay? Isa yan sa mga basic tools doon sa QGIS, simple clipping will give you this layer. And with this line output, napapreserve niya any information sa attribute table na nandito, mapapreserve niya. Okay? Ang magbabago lang is the extent kasi you already clip it with an input na boundary shapefile. Okay? So that's clipping by polygon or using a polygon. There are other way to do queries like selecting by distance, features, and as mentioned, pwede siya by location. Okay? Ito naman yung zonal stat. Okay? This method summarizes value of a raster dataset within a defined vector zones. Okay? Summarizes yung values ng raster dataset within a defined vector zone. So dapat meron tayong vector zone for us to calculate zonal statistics either per barangay, land parcel, or watershed. So with this zonal stat, we can derive statistics like max, mean, sum, and minimum. So don't worry kasi gagawin natin siya later. Zonal stat, for example, ano yung NDVI kan municipality A, municipality B, makakalculate natin. Yung statistics, mamimili tayo kung mean ba ang gusto natin, or sum, or minimum, or maximum. Okay? Ito yung sample ng zonal stat illustration. For example, meron kang raster dito, nag-range siya ng 0 to 9. Okay? Meron kang municipal boundary. Okay? Kapag ginamit mo yung zonal statistics na tool, okay, first, makukuha niya lang yung nasa loob ng municipal boundary mo. Okay? Ngayon, lahat ng numbers or pixels or raster pixels na nandyan, masasama. Okay? Masama doon. Pag one boundary ka, ayan, isang buong polygon yan, pag nag-minimum ka or average, i-average na yung values mo. Gets? I-average na yan. Tama? So yun yung process ng zonal stat. Pag na-average niya yan, depende sa pipiliin mong stat, makukuha mo agad yung layers. For example, imagine this is NDVI. Pinasok natin yung boundary ni province. Automatic makita natin yung minimum NDVI sa loob ni province. If ever gusto mo ng dalawang province, kailangan meron kang dalawang provincial boundary. Okay? To better illustrate that, ito yung next slide. Okay? So meron tayo din ng sample na shapefile. Okay? Ito yung city boundary sa Mabalacat City, no? So meron kang one shapefile for your city. Ibig sabihin, pag nag-min ka, is ilang makuha mong output? Isa lang. Tama? Kasi one boundary lang siya. However, kapag barangay yung shapefile mo, okay? Barangay, ang makuha mong outputs ay per barangay. Tama? Alin mas maganda? Kung for detailed reporting, per barangay, no? So, makikita natin na sobrang halaga na meron kang more detailed na boundaries in analysis like this. Again, dito, pag nag-min ka, one per province lang siya, or one per city lang siya, Mabalacat pala siya. Dito, okay, one statistics per barangays inside Mabalacat. So, for reporting, mas maganda if you have barangay shapefiles. Okay? Again, we can do that by integrating Earth observation like satellite and your vector data. This is not found in the manual kasi mini exercise lang naman siya. All the instruction will be shown to you through the slides. Okay? So earlier, na-discuss natin ng Sonalstat, importante meron tayong mga boundary, no? Like barangay boundaries. Tama? So ibibigay namin sa inyo yung barangay boundaries ng Cebu or Region 7. So nasa training folder na po natin yan. For LGUs, this usually include barangay boundaries within LGUs, no? For detailed analysis. So ang gagawin natin dito, we will extract barangay boundaries out of that particular na higher data set ng boundaries natin na naka-province level or naka-region level. Okay? Again, yung data set natin is nandito. Okay? Explore po natin to. So, open po tayo ng new QGIS file. Okay? Tapos, i-follow lang po natin yung instruction. So, meron po tayong barangays in the whole Region 7. Ang goal natin, piliin lang yung barangay sa respective na province natin. Okay? So, yun yung activity natin for this one, for the first one. Try natin, hanapin kung saan yung data. Open, vector, mini exercise, X3, mini exercise. Click natin, isa lang naman yan, no? Isang data lang naman yan, barangays. So yun lang naman yung data natin na gagamitin all throughout this mini exercise. Open data, source manager, vector, triple dots, X3. Hanapin yung folder na mini exercise. Isa lang naman yung shapefile na nandyan, no? Yung region boundaries. Ito siya. Mali lang yung copy. Ayan po pala. Ayan. So, na-open nyo naman po, no? Yung Region 7 barangays.shapefile. Ito po ay naglalaman ng lahat ng barangays na nasa Region 7. This is Philippine Statistics Authority data. So, this is an official data, 2025 data. I think 2025 na updated siya. So, tama po ba? Ito yung nakita natin. Tama, no? So, that's Region 7 barangays. So, try natin open attribute table so we can see ano ba yung mga attributes na nasa loob ng shapefile. Right-click, open attribute table. Explore nyo po, ano yung mga columns na nandyan? Ano yung mga code? Okay? Ano ba yung pinapakita ng mga admin something na yan? Admin N1, N2. Admin 4, ano kaya? Province ba yan? Barangay ba yan? Sige, explore nyo po muna para maging familiar tayo. Tama, no? So, let's try. Okay? Tama po. 0 is country. 1 is region. 2 is mga provinces. 3 is municipalities. Admin 4 is the column for barangays. So yung first exercise natin for this mini exercise, out of all barangays in Region 7, piliin lang natin yung barangays. Paano natin ma-extract lang, yung tamang term, extract lang yung barangays in Cebu province only. Pero if you're coming from Bohol, wala naman, no? From other. So if you're from these other provinces, you can choose po yung Bohol. Meron. Ay, tama. Sir, ikaw po na yun. So sa'yo, sir, Bohol po yun. Okay. So yun po. Ikaw lang po sa Bohol. The rest po, of course, if you want to explore other provinces, pwede naman. Okay? So ito po yung step natin, malino, no? Out of the Region 7, barangays ang in Cebu extract natin. Okay? To do that po, sa attribute table, no? Hindi to sa main window. Sa attribute table, merong parang E na sign, equation sign. Click nyo lang po yun. Yung E na may yellow na square. Ano pong lumabas? Parang expression. Okay? So dito natin lalagay yung expression para ma-select yung specific na province or municipalities. Depende sa gusto nating ma-extract. Okay? Meron po tayo ditong area kung saan we can input yung yung equations natin. Okay? So dito natin lalagay yung equations. Kindly copy lang po ito. Ano po yung meaning nito? Okay? Admin 2 is provinces, no? So, ibig sabihin, pinipili natin yung mga barangays kung saan sa column na province, ang nakalagay ay Cebu. Gets po? Pinipili natin yung barangays na kung saan ang nakalagay sa admin 2 niya ay Cebu. Meaning, barangay siya sa Cebu. So, wag pong kalimutan yung mga double quotations, part po siya, no? Okay? Nag-error po siya, kindly type na lang po, yan, double quotation, ADM2, madalas po may mag-a-appear na po na yun na suggested results. Click nyo lang po yun. Try po double quotation, ADM2, or ADM, may lalabas na pong suggested result. Click nyo lang po yung 2 para di siya mag-error. Then, equals Cebu. May sign po yan na tama yung selected, no? May number of, di ba sa attribute table, may nasa taas, may number na selected equals, yan. Pag may selected, hindi dapat yan 0. Another guide or another parang sign na tama is may ma-highlight. Ma-highlight yung selected na barangays based on the particular conditions na pinili natin. So gawin po natin to. Attribute table nasa right side lang po para din malinaw. Ilipat lang natin sa right side para kita natin yung actual map. For visualization lang naman. Yan. So, pag nag-select, i-drag lang siya. Yan. I-drag nyo lang yan. Tapos, makita nyo, sa attribute table, ma-highlight yung selected na barangays within admin 2, which is yung Cebu na nasat natin. At the same time, it will be highlighted in our map viewer, yung naging highlight na yellow. At the same time, meron ding number of selected dito na indicator kung ilan yung selected na features. Okay? So, ibig sabihin, selected na natin yung specific na barangay sa province selected. Okay? How to export? Okay? Paano natin ma-export to? For example, gusto ko na itong gamitin for analysis ko sa LGU, no? Kasi nakaseparate na yung, yung Cebu City. How to export? Simple lang naman. So, right-click doon sa data, sa file name, right-click niyo po yung file name mismo. Ito. Export. Tapos make sure na yung pangalawa, yung save selected features. Ibig sabihin, yung selected lang yung ma-save. Pag yung una, lahat yan ma-save. Yung pangalawa po yung piliin, yung selected features. Ayan po. Save lang po as Cebu Province _barangay. So you can rename po if na-save nyo na. Ayan po. Save selected as, save selected feature as. Ma-save lang yung selected na barangays. Okay? Try po natin para ma-train tayo sa method. Magkapalitan naman po tayo sa yung mga taga Cebu, try naman po natin yung Bohol. Yung Bohol naman ay mag-Cebu. Para ma-recall natin kung paano. May papalitan tayo, no? Kanina, Cebu. Papalitan natin lang siya ng Bohol. Tapos try natin siya. So make sure po na sa open attribute table po tayo ng original file, no? Hindi doon sa Cebu kasi hindi natin makita yung Bohol kasi filtered na siya. Gets po? Doon tayo, syempre, kung nasaan yung major data or main data natin ng lahat ng barangays. Ang next step naman natin, okay, is to do the same method for mini cities. Okay? Mag-extract naman tayo ng barangays in a selected city. Ayun, lumiliit na yung scope natin, no? Okay? So, kanina, meron na tayong barangays for the whole province of Cebu. Okay? Out of the Region 7 data. What if you're working lang naman with a single LG or municipality? What if yun lang naman kailangan natin? Okay? Extract naman natin yung barangays inside a specific city or municipalities. Yun yung number 2 natin. We'll do the same for mini cities, yung method natin kanina. However, iba na yung ating code or yung ating gagamitin na boundary. Okay? Instead of 2, which is provinces kanina, okay? Ang gagamitin natin ay 3 na. Okay? Mini-cities niya. Kasi pag pinili natin yung mini-cities, for example, Cebu City, lahat ng barangays inside that city ay masasave natin. So, kaya siya admin 3. Okay? So, admin 3, ito po yung kakopy natin. Okay? May tanong po, bakit Cebu City capital? Bakit hindi Cebu City lang? Kasi, nasa file naming convention ni PSA na talagang may capital yung kanilang nilalagay doon. So, in case mag-error kayo, like Cebu City lang nilagay, may error, i-visit mo lang yung column for the admin 3, titingnan mo lang yung file naming convention na pinalo nila. So, in this case, Cebu City capital, dapat exactly yun ang ilalagay natin. Okay? Para mahanap siya with our script. Okay? So, yan po yung gagawin natin. Ito po, ang gagamitin na nating open attribute table is yung nagawa na natin na Cebu Province Barangays. Okay po? Para magamit na natin yung output kanina. Again, yung Cebu Province Barangays, yun na yung i-right-click attribute table and hanapin yung equation symbol sa attribute table, i-input to. Same lang po, no? Is-save natin yan. Same method kanina. Continue lang po yung ongoing po. If tapos na po kayo doon, in case, for example, na-save nyo na, you can try po showing the labels. Tapos check nyo kung tama ba yung mga labels ng barangay natin since you're also familiar with those barangays. No? Right-click lang, show labels. Try nyo lang kung tama ba yung mga labels. Okay? Try nyo po yung ganito. Load nyo po yung satellite data as background, tapos outline lang yung mga barangay boundaries and show labels. Tapos inspect nyo po kung tama po yung mga delineation or boundary. Pero kung may reklamo po, hindi po sa akin, sa PSA. Hindi ba? Joke lang.